want to say hi first?
Let's see if it works. Hi, Bryce. Say hi. Good morning to everybody. Where are you? I just want to say good morning to everybody. This is what happens when you say good morning. When you say good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
There you go, everybody.
Good morning,
there you
Bryce.
go.
Good, nice to meet you.
For those that were on prayer call, I said that I had to leave to go drop my son off at school. Well, God decided to change it up a little bit. He's like, you know what, Brock, I'm going to make sure you really can handle everything this week. We're going to throw in a 2-hour delay without you really knowing until like the last 10 minutes. So here we are. We have a 2-hour delay. And so now we have to adjust the next 2 hours because I have a meeting at 10. At the same time, I have to bring him to school. And I said, Bryce, do you just want to come on the show? Because we're just going to make it as entertaining as possible. And so there's our message of hearing his little voice because it does make me happy. So see you, buddy. All right, everybody. Let's see. And then we still have internet.
Brock, you're on mute.
There we go. Now we got this new mute going. This microphone's really not working. It's all for show. My internet is still having problems, but here we are. Here we are, everyone. So good morning to everybody. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD, and it is DAD 100%. Just found out my flight to Nashville got it switched up, so I got to be at the airport by 7 a.m. But guess what? I got to bring my kids to school at 8 and my daughter at 9. So that should be really fun. So later on today, we'll be working on that project as well. Then I got another project, John, that we had a closing yesterday, and everybody signed. And then this morning, I got a nice little text message saying that it was not right. And so within the next hour and a half, I have to figure out all these numbers because we're supposed to record at 10 o'clock this morning. So we're figuring it out. We are figuring it out. But we will. And this will be a story that we'll share. I'll be like, oh, gosh, remember that time period? So anyway, so good morning to everybody. Good morning to you all. The message today, the message that I have today is the word good. The word good is
Brock,
where I'm at today. What? Can you hear me?
Can I get a minute? When you have a chance, can you explain to Monica what is the prayer call is in the morning prayer call, because she was asking in the chat. Thank you.
I love it.
Sorry.
I love it. No, anytime when God has something on prayer call, we gotta open it up. So I do a prayer call. It is Monday through Friday, 7:30. Grace and Jay, if you can put the link in there. It is Monday through Friday, 7:30. It's real estate agents all across the country. We say prayers, and on Tuesdays, I lead the prayer. I've been doing it for almost 3 years now, and that is God's way of keeping me in check, keeping me going into this because I actually, funny on a little side note, I'm starting to work with different churches and organizations and working with people who are single with kids and what that's all about, going through divorce, going through things that we really don't really talk about when you're going through things. And I always say it's funny, like when you get married, they don't talk about this other part of it. Like, here, let me share with you a potential exit strategy you might need to work on. Like, you don't talk about that, right? And then when it happens, it's like you don't know what to do. You don't know what it's going to cost. You don't know all this stuff. So God has me leaning into that through the churches and groups. So if anybody does have a church or an organization that they be interested, whether it's Zoom or in person, that is one of my goals in 2026. But I do lead a prayer call. It's a national prayer call on a Zoom that we do, and Fred's on there. And for all of those, they're more than welcome. Let me pull up the chat here so I could see. Did we put it in the chat? Yes, there's it in the chat. We'd love to be able to have you put it in your calendars. You get to hear me at 7:30 on Tuesday, then we come right into here. And so that's what I was telling them is like, I got this prayer call, and then I got to drop off Bryce, which I normally don't have the kids on Tuesday mornings, but since their mother is out of town, I'm watching the kids. And, I'll give you a perspective. I guess maybe this is just part of the show of good, but it goes along the lines of that I can't, like, how many single parents are there that have their kids full time or doing it's just a different perspective of what it is. And God bless my parents. I don't know what in the world they were thinking all, but they had 5 kids within 6 years of each other. So I'm the oldest of 5, and my youngest sister is 40, and I'm 47. So I always tell my parents, I'm like, what the hell were you guys thinking? Like, I know we're Catholic, but seriously, do something else, for crying out loud. That must have just been like hell for 10 years of just being in the diapers. So let's just call it how it is. Anyways, all right, everybody. So while we're doing that, let us get ourselves into. We're going to do the affirmation that I have. I want everybody. First of all, I guess I must have offended everybody yesterday. So I told people that if you wear, I guess since I wear a sweatshirt, that I was like, you got to dress up. You got to be like, I got to get myself presentable. It's just one of those things that I need to be. That if I had a sweatshirt on, I felt like I wasn't really in it, and those were very small little things inside my head. Well, I said that yesterday. Well, hell, nobody's on video today. It's like nobody's on. Like, I'm not showing up without with a sweatshirt on. If he's gonna, I'm not making fun of it. I didn't mean to be like negative. All I wasn't. I was just telling you in my head. The little details matter. So come off of mute and come on video all. I don't care if you got a sweatshirt on. I'm not making fun of you if you got a sweatshirt on. Hell, you could be like Fred. You could be at the beach. Maybe you're driving. So come on video. Unless you're naked, then that's a totally different story. We're not in that. And come off of mute. Let's do the affirmation. All of us saying it together, really feeling it this morning because God's leading us in so many different things with energy, with passion, with conviction. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Something good is going to
Good
happen
Going
to
to
me.
happen to me.
Something
good is
good
going
is
to
going to
happen
happen
to
through
happen
me.
through me.
I love it. I love it. I get excited, just like Chad. We get excited when we hear your voices because some of you might be in a strange room. Look at D. They're down in Charlotte. They're with Tom Ferry. There's Jackie. There's Sherry. Look at those guys. I don't know who else is there. Just welcome everybody over there. They're down at Tom Ferry. What a great coach. You guys are gonna have a phenomenal day. I've been blessed and fortunate to be around his father, Mike Ferry. Um, and Mike Ferry was actually coached by, how many of you put a 3 in the chat know Earl Nightingale? Earl Nightingale. If you don't know Earl Nightingale, I want you to go YouTube his videos. Very, very successful businessman. But Mike Ferry was coached by Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale, Paul, Mario, Melissa's driving the kids to school. Way to go, Melissa. I get it. Wish I had his voice. Yeah, he's got an amazing voice, like a really good voice that just, I'm a fan. Yeah, just a really, I'm telling y'all, if there's anything you take from me today is Earl Nightingale, I just, I separated you with the pack. Like, just listen to him daily. Just really, really, and down to earth type of things that were happening. That's why I love the Bible so much, is because it's like the messages in the Bible all still are with us today. They're still important today in what we could take away in our life. And Earl Nightingale, not to say he's the Bible, but he brings a lot of business and a lot of great fundamentals and concepts into our world that like still hold true today. And for those of you in the real estate, I would tell you this: don't watch the news because you think the sky is falling and everything is terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not fun right now compared to where we were 3 years ago, but it's not that bad. And what Earl Nightingale, Mike Ferry, those two, they talk about the foundations, the fundamentals. How many of you saw my post yesterday where I called like an expired listing yesterday and I got an appointment, one call, one appointment, $925,000. Okay. And I asked the question, did you see the migration chart that the other agents shared with you? Because she lives in the outskirts of Charlotte. I said, well, that's not a problem. I said, I hope they're not marketing just in Charlotte, because if you look at the migration charts, you'll see that there's a lot of different places around the country that are moving here. Did you see the migration chart? She looked at me and she said, migration chart? So, well, yeah, I mean, how will we know where they're relocating for different parts of the country? I mean, we focus on that to bring buyers to your property. She says, when can you come over? When can you come over? Okay, ask the right question, ask the right question at the right time, present it in a way not being like, hey, look at me, how good I am. No, you just say, I'm sure you've probably seen this. So many other agents probably shared this with you and you're expired. They must have said this to you, and they didn't. And that is your way of separating yourself, separation season, separating yourself from the pack. So I am working on something, putting something together in 2026 that I'm going to be doing a special role play, and we are going to do it right after the show. Since I have a majority of you here, might as well do a quick 15 minutes. So if you are interested in that, put RP in the chat. We're trying to figure out if there's enough people for me to do this. It's kind of my way of practicing before I get into my calls at 9. So if you want to be part of it, put RP into the chat and we will see if we can. My goal is to get 20 people. So if I can get 20 people, I'll do it. So if those of you who put RP, go find somebody else to be like, could you please just get them to do 20 people? So that is my goal. I don't know, there's 47 of you on here today, so hopefully I can aim for 50% of you to be on here. So I'm exhausted. It's only 8:28. Okay, here we go. I haven't even started my message, John Hart. John Hart just sipping a cup of coffee. That's what I'm going to do. Bryce is here. So today's message, I was listening to, oh, good. I think we have enough RPs. Here's the message that I share with you. Okay. The quote, the message that I was listening to, it says, if I quit, I will be back where I started. If I quit, I'll be back where I started. And when I get back to that starting point, I will want to be where I have the opportunity today. If I quit, I'll be back where I started. And when I'm at that starting point, I'll be wanting to be back at the opportunity I have today. And why that really resonated with me and how it came into me. So what are my strategies that I do for those that might be going through some maybe, and I'm going to ask you guys a question here shortly of where you are in your life. I put in, I'm overwhelmed and looking for motivation. I'm just going to be vulnerable with y'all today. I'm a little overwhelmed. It's been tough sledded. And so what I do when I'm overwhelmed, I go to YouTube and I say, I'm overwhelmed looking for motivation. And how ironic. How many of you were on last week with Chris Reshitar did the book Extreme Ownership? Right? And guess which video came up for me? Jocko. Jocko came up. I can't make this. Well, I know my phone probably listens. Well, I know probably listens to everything I say. But for me, that alignment of God's like, hey, remember last week? I'm going to just put this little nugget in here to remind you. Because, I mean, what else? I mean, how many other things could pop up when you put in there overwhelmed, looking for motivation? It happens to be Jocko. That pops up, as Chris Reshitar did, the Extreme Ownership, which was one of my favorite books. And it's so true that if I decided just to be like, you know what, I'm just Jay, Rika, they're my VAs, just cancel all my appointments today. Like, I just cannot go through today. I'm going to have to, oh God, I got a 2-hour notice. Like, it is just, I got basketball practice tonight with Bryce. My flights just got changed. The closing took, like, it's just like one problem after the next. It's so easy to be like, F it, I'm done. I'm going back to bed. Even if I can't sleep, I'm just going to go play on my phone. Latrice is probably laughing. She's like, I don't think I've ever heard him say that. It's even weird to say to y'all. But how many of you? I want you to put a 10. We're going to double the 5. Put a 10 in the chat if you felt at some point in your life you want to throw in the towel. Put a 10 in the chat if I'm speaking to somebody today that at some point in your life that I've gotten to a point that I just can't keep going on. I'm tired of being tired. I just can't do it. Nothing seems to be working out. I was in the shower today and like it was raining Victimville in the shower today. I mean, like literally everything I possibly can go through and I'm like, oh God, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. I got the prayer call. I'm just being honest with y'all, so that way maybe somebody on here who might be going through a difficult time, I can help today. So as I was doing this victimhood, I watched the video. I remembered Eric Thomas having this video, and I want you to write this down for those of you that are taking notes. There's 3 parts to life. I don't care who you are in here, what you do, how much money you have, where you live. There's 3 parts to life. Number 1 is you're entering into a storm. You're approaching some sort of storm. How many of you remember, Jen, do you remember when like back in the day when you were a child and you'd see like the big thunderstorms, clouds coming to be really dark and your parents, get in the house, hurry up, get in, it's gonna storm, put your bikes away. Remember we actually used to ride bikes? How many of you remember riding bikes? That's what we used to do, ride bikes. Dad used to get so mad. He's like, put the bikes are in the driveway. Make sure the bikes are on the driveway so your father can come into the garage. How many of you that? How many of you that? Right? Um, think about when you don't have such as cancer, a sick child, on and on. Yeah, 100%. 100%, John. And so, like, you're entering into the storm. Number 2 in life is you're in the storm. You're in the damn thing. You are just in there, and it is pouring. It is hailing. It is doing everything you possibly can imagine. And it doesn't look like it's any insight. I can only imagine, during those hurricanes, like, is it over with yet? Hurricane Helene, are the floods receding? See, we're gifted. We can look ahead at our storm and we can look at the radar, be like, oh my gosh, we only got 2 more hours left. It's supposed to pass through. In life, we're not gifted that. Some of our storms might be a day, might be a week, might be a month, might be a year. When I look at some of the things of my storm of my personal life, I'm approaching 10 years of working on my sobriety. 10 years. Not 10 months, not 10 weeks, 10 years of how my life has drastically changed and all the ups and downs of everything I've been through. And I still have to work on it. Because evil shows up just as much as good, yes or yes. It doesn't take a day off. It's still there. So number 3, thank goodness for number 3, you're coming out of the storm. You're coming out of the storm. You start to see the clouds, the blue sky, the sun starting. Remember that? You all can visualize that. So number 1 is you're entering into a storm. Number 2 is you're in the storm. And number 3 is you're coming out of the storm. Now, we lost 2 people. They must have hated my message. They must have been like, he's still going to talk about making fun of sweatshirts. Still waiting for some people to come off a video here. I'm not going to make fun of your clothes. I promise. I want you to be really honest with yourself. I want you to put in the chat right now. I know you're so used to putting in 5. So we only have a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. I think for the sake of what you all know what I'm going through, I'm in number 2. I'm in a storm right now. I want you to put into the chat what part of your life you're in right now. Okay? Don't feel you need to be a number 2. I really wish I was at 3. How many of you where are you? So there's 45 people on here. I should see over 40 numbers pop in here. There's iPhone. I was going to say it's usually Paul. Somebody's got to put like a 2.5, 2.67 repeating. Okay. 3. Thank goodness. Michelle. All right. Manuel. Good. Good to see some 3s on here. Okay. I'm still missing some of you. John Root. There you go. 2.34. 2. 2. Who else? Lena's 2. Amanda's at a 2. What's up, Amanda? We need to touch base, Amanda. Jennifer's at a 2. Sarah's at a 2. 1. You know what, Joe? It's funny. I was just about to say, isn't it funny how we don't really see storms coming? Or we pretend we don't see the storm coming? We turn an eye. How many really want to be in a storm? We don't want to be. I think as society, what we do is we turn our back from the number one. We don't want to be seeing that storm. Because why? As a child, as I foreshadowed to you earlier, our parents told us to go into safety, to go into comfort, to go get out of where the storm could possibly be. Now, obviously, for safety purposes, they're protecting us. But in real life, Sarah, we need to embrace the storm. We need to embrace the suck. We need to understand that the storm is just part of life, that we can't always run away and go to comfort. So for those of you all in the 2s, know that you might go from a 2 back to a 1 before you even see a 3. Because there's another storm that you know is taking place. Even though you're in a storm, you know that there's another decision. There's something else out there. There's another financial burden. There is something else that you're dealing with, that if I just get through this, I know that there's something else that could take place. So if we don't see the 3, we go back and we want to go to comfort. That there's something inside of us that's just naturally that we want to conform into that comfort zone. But as I shared with you, the title of today's message is Good. And Jocko said, when problems arise, good. Because if you're like me and you pray for strength, you pray for abundance, you pray for determination, you pray for discipline, you pray for these things, guess what? It can't be easy because you can't get any stronger. You can't get any better. When you want to get stronger, the person at the training, that the trainer doesn't say, "Oh, you want to get stronger? Not a problem, guys. Take that weight off for him. Let's just make it a little bit easier for you." No, we up the weight, we up the reps to get stronger. So when things happen, I'm like, all right, good, that's good. We'll figure it out. Lost a deal. Somebody told me yesterday she lost a deal. It's good. It's okay. There's another one coming. Something else will happen. A new bill came in. I just got dinged $765. Tutor forgot to. It's like that game of life or like Monopoly. You like don't pass go. It was like I get a text message from their mother. Hey, the tutor forgot to invoice us the last 2 months, so the bill is $765. Ah, good, good. That's a good one. I like that. Braces came in. Good, good braces. All right, I love that. See, it's easy to look at the negativity. I was telling somebody that I have to pay several thousands of dollars each month on child support and different child activities. And they look at me like, damn. And I'm like, see, it's not as bad as your life's not as bad as you think. But at the same token, I'm blessed that I have the financial ability to be able to provide and support. I could easily bitch, whine, and moan all day long and say, that's not going to get me anywhere. It makes me work harder. Good. Is that what you got? Not a problem. I'll figure it out. We'll work through it. Good. We got 2-hour delay. That's not a problem. Bryce, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get a little ahead of ourselves for later on this afternoon for what we're going to do. Kids got sick. Good. All right. Not good that you got sick, but that's not a problem. We can slow things down. We're going to work through it. We're going to get some medicine. Guess what? Brielle never learned how to swallow pills because she's been so young and that she hasn't been this sick before, but now she's 13. And I'm like, hey, girl, You need to learn how to take adult pills because I can't give you like 6 child chewables anymore. Like, you got to take it. So guess what? She learned how to swallow pills. It was an act of Congress. It was a huge thing, but she got to swallow pills. It's the littlest things, all that you have to find small wins. Write that down. Find small wins. Find small wins, because if you're trying to hit a home run at every at bat, I promise you, you will never ever get to number 3, and you will stay stuck in the storm all your life. Now, I can tell you that a storm never stays, no matter how catastrophic. Is Mike Castor on here? He's got to go back to Jamaica. He works for, or he helps out the Good Samaritan. My mind went blank, but he goes out and helps them. No matter how catastrophic that storm was, Category 5 we recently had, it did not stay over that island forever. It pushes on, no matter what takes place. I still, to this day, have never seen a hurricane that started a month ago still in the same spot. We allow ourselves to stay in the hurricane. We choose to be in number 2 and stay in number 2. So let me paraphrase, stay in number 2. See, number 2 is going to happen whether you like it or not. It is what you do to embrace it. So as I stated yesterday, my 3 things, or the things that I do, here's my first one. I get up, I shut up, and I show up. That's what I do. I get up, I shut up, and I show up. Because me bitching, I can call Monica. She's a master life coach. Monica, you're a master life coach. Listen, maybe you got the formula. Let me tell you a little bit about all my problems. Right? Call Amanda. She's a speaker. She does the one thing. We're going to have her on speaking on here. I can complain to her, be like, hey, you know what, that one thing, like, it just really is not really working. I think that there's many things. There's many things. There's just not one. I have a lot. And last but not least, the last concept I will share you with is something I shared with in the past. No matter what, when I actually show up, as I show up today, I'm allowed to suck at it, but not allowed to skip it. I'm allowed to suck at it, but I'm not allowed to skip it. So whatever takes place, whether this might be the only thing I can share with you today that you get out of the message, I didn't skip today. No wholeheartedly, as many challenges as I have, I truly gave you everything I had going into this show. I wasn't going to skip it. I wasn't going to say, guys, I'm sorry. Hey, Jay, send everybody a little group message. Somebody come online. Hey, John Hart, you're always on here, buddy. Could you just tell people, like, hey, Brock's having a tough day. He'll be back next week. He says hi and he loves you. I will show up. I might suck at it, but I will not skip it. Even if I do one phone call today because it's on my list to make my lead gen calls. Whatever it might be. Can you promise me that? That you will get up, you will shut up, you will show up. And when you show up, you're willing to suck at it but not skip it. If you are, I want you to put a me in the chat. ME in the chat to close us out today, that you are willing to do that no matter what. A lot of you put 2s in this chat. A lot of you said that, and I don't care. As long as you're willing to get up, shut up, and show up, and you might suck at it, but you won't skip it. No matter what takes place moving forward in your life, that you will dominate in some capacity and give 120%, whatever it might be. And it doesn't have to be perfect. As we talked about yesterday, it's conviction versus perfection. Just believe in yourself. So I see a lot of me's. If you got something out of today, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat. If you got something out of today, some notes to take place. I appreciate you all guys dealing with all the fun and the chaos and everything else like that, if this is something that you like, if this is where you're motivated, you feel the vibe, and you're just trying to figure out how to get to Nashville, all right? If that is you, all right, I want you to reach out to me, DM me. I want you to put a 12 in the chat. For those of you who are like, I got to figure this out somehow, some way, put a 12 in the chat. If you're coming to Nashville, put a 10 in the chat. Put a 10 in the chat if you're coming. A 12 in the chat that you want to try to figure it out with me, because we will make it happen in some capacity, in some way. I see a lot of 10s. I see some 5s on here, so that is great stuff all. If anybody's got a 12, DM me, reach out to me. We'll figure it out in some way for you to be able to be there. For those of you who are coming, make sure you get your hotel, because we only have 4 more days left until they change the pricing on us. So you make sure you get to the hotels. Grace, if you can, please put into the text the Nashville tickets. There it is. Boom, right there. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so very much for listening to my storm story today. Be good. Embrace it. It's going to be okay. Tomorrow at 8:15, we'll be back Wednesday morning with our main man, Mr. Jim Morris from Nashville himself. He's literally in Nashville. He'll be there. He'll be here tomorrow. Till then, I appreciate y'all. God bless you. See ya.
Thank you.